Someone should let the Trump regime know that their Twitter bots need an upgrade because they're trying to make America great again by dissing the Declaration of Independence. That's right, Trump's little alt-right snowflakes got all triggered this weekend on Twitter when National Public Radio did their annual reading of the Declaration of Independence, which, as you know, calls for the overthrowing of a tyrant with a lot of power who's reckless and abusive towards the people. Sound familiar? Well, Trump's Confederacy of Dunces thought so too. And in a moment that could only be brought to you by the wonders of the internet, they responded to NPR's tweeting of the Declaration of Independence with condemnation and outrage. Here's some of my favorites. NPR tweets these lines from the Declaration, quote, "Whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government." And this deplorable doofus on Twitter responds, "So NPR is calling for revolution. Interesting way to condone the violence while trying to sound patriotic. Your implications are clear." And here's another call for political correctness from a triggered little right-wing snowflake. NPR treats the line from the Declaration, quote, "A prince whose every character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people." To which she responds, "Please stop. This is not the right place." And this precious little gem of alt-right hysteria, quote, "Propaganda, is that all you know how? Try supporting a man who wants to do something about the injustice in this country. Hashtag draining the swamp. How about you try reading the historical documents of this country, you false patriot? Hashtag he's draining the swamp into the White House, in case you haven't been paying attention. And you know the reason that these ignorant right-wingers who constantly wave flags in our faces and proclaim their patriotism every chance they get have probably never even bothered to read the entire Declaration of Independence, which is why they don't recognize Jefferson's words when they show up in their Twitter feed. But the best part of this story is the response to their response on Twitter, which was deliciously hilarious. At Parker Malloy at NPR tweeted out the entire Declaration of Independence, and wow, their responses are something. 55,000 retweets on that one, y'all. And at Savvy Grimm said, the responses to at NPR tweeting the Declaration of Independence are sort of hilarious and sad all at once. And this one, which pretty much sums the entire escapade up. At Robert Caruso, a bunch of Trump supporters became irate this morning when NPR started tweeting excerpts of the Declaration of Independence. Bless them. Yes, bless their little hearts. And I'm normally not a huge fan of national put-you-to-sleep faster than C-SPAN radio, but I gotta give them props for baiting the legions of deplorables and Trump's Confederacy of Dunces into trolling themselves on Twitter. NPR should probably let some of their social media folks have a show on the radio, because then maybe we could turn the regular radio on in the car and get something other than pop music and right-wing radio. And that way, progressives under the age of The Walking Dead could have a news source on the radio that isn't boring us to death. But I digress. This whole situation is what happens when one political party in this country abandons its ideas, its values, and the patriotic principles that our founding fathers fought for. It's so bad that today's Republicans will literally defend Trump even if he's as bad as King George, who we fought an entire revolutionary war against to free our country from the tyrannies listed in the Declaration of Independence. Their party is literally named Republican, as in for the Republic, as a statement of objection to aristocracy. But here, the followers of our charlatan-in-chief will have his back even if he's a tyrant, even if he shoots somebody on Fifth Avenue, like Trump once said, even if he, quote, endeavored to prevent the population of these states for that purpose obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, which is immigration, by the way. Even if he acts like a billionaire king and treats America's citizens like his own little class of trickle-down peasants. You see, in their eyes, Trump can do no wrong, like the kings of old, who were ordained by God to lord over the rest of us. And unenlightened beliefs like that in the political sphere have always been the breeding ground for tyrants like Trump. I'm Ryan Clayton. This is Content News. Come back daily for the news where we're free to share the truth.